I'm not sure what is happening here, but I'll just hang out to see if this is going to work this morning. I'm not really sure what's happening, so I'm having some technical difficulties, I guess. And yeah, technical difficulties is what's happening. So, oh, Kevin's here, okay. Can you hear me this morning? Okay, I think you can hear me. I'm not totally sure. Had kind of a funky start ahead. Okay, good. All right, awesome. While we wait, Kevin, for others to join, I've been working on this song called, it's a 𝗕𝗏 song. I'm not in tune yet, so it's going to sound like I'm playing it in the key of L, because it sounds like L. It's got this really cool like G chord with the last 3 fingers, and then there's that movement like that we're playing like an Eagles song, like the Tequila Sunrise or something. We're using that, you know, the finger 2 and finger 1 on the fret 1 to make that a C chord with a G in the bass. It ain't you. No, it ain't me. That's not the way that love's supposed to be. And then there's this really cool down on your knees. Da, 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 oh, that's not love, 'cause it don't feel that way. It's not love. Just a really cool song, just super cool stuff. But it sounds even better in tune. If you haven't heard the song, it's a 𝗕𝗏 song. It's called That's Not Love, and it's just a wonderful tune. And I would encourage you to, if you're just tuning in, to stick around because we're tuning up. Good morning, Robbie. Ayush. Good morning, Ayush. One Nepali song, please. I'll take 2. Can you recommend, Ayush, any Nepali songs for me, please? That would be a good place for me to start. I don't have any of those songs in my repertoire, but I would love to learn some. A440. So if you're here, if you're just tuning in, we are tuning up and we are gearing up to play our morning ritual for guitar growth, which we do every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today at the end, we'll be wrapping, at the end of this session, we will be wrapping our week of strum pattern week with a deep dive into the Bo Diddley beat. So stick around, you won't want to miss it. Classic Bo Diddley beat, you know, just a super important beat on the guitar to play. And any instrument really, but especially guitar. We're gonna call that close enough for rock and roll. My guitar is totally out this morning. I'm not sure what happened. Love from Nepal. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for being here. These weeks are flying by, Kevin. It's crazy, isn't it? It's unreal how quickly it moves. Good morning, Robbie Smith. Good morning, Kevin Haas. Good morning, Ayush. If you have any Nepali songs that would be good for us to learn, we would love to hear about those. Please, Ayush. We would love to have some recommendations from you. Buddy Holly rhythm. Oh yeah, there we go. We're just taking it easy, you know, just taking it cool, not in a rush. I thought even today maybe what we could zack, attack, yeah, bringing it, boy. We're taking just an easy approach today. I was thinking if it's okay with you, we could break our subdivisions down to 2 attacks per beat, just so we can all breathe together and really enjoy just sort of stretching out and getting closing out the week with some care and some love. I wanted to focus. I'm not sure if Anthony will be joining us today because I think he's got a really exciting gig tonight in Philly, I guess. So if he shows up, I'd like to encourage him to have a wonderful gig, but I also would like to say, you know, get our morning intention wrapped around what the band is, his band Denim Dennis is going to be doing tonight, that they might be able to listen well to each other and supply a nice energy and back and forth with their audience, and that his fingers are guided to find all of the right notes and with confidence and meaning and just a deep appreciation and gratitude for being in their time and their space, and just have a wonderful gig tonight. You know? So that's the intention I wanted to set for today, just to have a moment of sharing good positive energy to help build them up. There was a time where I was in the White Mountains. This is a really cool story, so I'm not sure how much time we're going to leave for stories today, but I was there in the JJDPA was getting reauthorized, and we had a meeting near the Bretton Woods, and I brought my cameras and was out in the middle of the night, and cold, in the middle of the White Mountains, because everyone else was asleep. And 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm out there, set up with my cameras, doing some still shots, and freezing. But I've got all this down gear, and I'm familiar with the survival, I think, at least basically, and I hear something like a couple hundred yards away, like over in the tree line, just kind of rustling around. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm just seated in the tall grass, trying to camouflage myself and not be noticed while I'm running a time lapse of the stars and the building, this beautiful building in Bradford Washburn's name, dedicated to the late great Mr. Bradford Washburn, cartographer, world traveler, founder of the Museum of Science in Boston. Just a great place to be. And while I'm absorbing all of this, there's some rustling in this boreal forest, this sprucey forest over here, and then the evergreen forest, and it's getting closer to me, and I think, oh my gosh. So this is black bear country. And I kid you not, it was just the craziest experience, and one of the craziest experiences in my life. Oh, hey, good morning. Good morning. I'm just talking about a White Mountain experience. We were getting ready to, we're waiting for Mr. Anthony Tortorella, and I see that he's commented, acknowledging, placing us all on notice of his arrival. I'll finish this story in just a moment. Good morning, Zach. Good morning. Good morning, Danielle. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday, and happy Friday indeed. This is a big day for all of us, because one of our guitar samurai is going to fight the good fight tonight. So Wayne, glad to have you here. More going on here than exercises, Big Wayne. This is just going to be a morning ritual warm-up, and at the end, if you stick around to the end, we're going to dissect the Bo Diddley beat, because this is our wrap-up of Strum Pattern Week #1. Okay, so we'll be dissecting that and talking about how to get some extra mileage out of that riff. And I lost my pick. We're going to also start with 2 attacks per beat today, rolling in easily. We're not taking any of these moments for granted. We're just going to roll in nice and easy, and I hope it works for all of you too. Good morning, Jason. How folks from around the world? Hello, everybody. 𝗵𝘃𝗄𝗧, Marlon. Good morning, Marlon. So I'll just get us started, and then I'll finish up with that. I started out with a song when Kevin was here early. I had a couple of glitches with our first stream, so we had to dump it and start over again. But I started with the 𝗕𝗏 song. I wanted just to share this with you. It's not going to match the metronome, so I'll turn it off. But Vega. That's not love, 'cause it don't feel that bad. No, that's not love. So it's just basically, just really, I've noticed that the special sauce comes from not trying to overplay with the right hand. It's okay to just leave space and let notes ring and go by. Gets kind of sloppy sounding, it's my insecurities kind of keeping my right hand going and wiggling around and interacting with the strings in a not secure way. So try to help lighten up the delivery of the bottom of the chord, sort of tighten it up a little bit so it's not so jingly jangly. But sometimes that's what we want, is the jingle and the jangle, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll click the metronome back on. Our friend the metronome is here with us today, fortunately. 𝗵𝘃𝗄𝗧, you'll be happy to know that we're on 60 beats per minute, and we are going to do 2 attacks per beat, and that's it. We're starting with fingers 3 and 4. If you're here, you know what's going on. Fingers 3 and 4 on frets 11 and 12, and we're going up the position and then descending the position. But this is going to be super, super approachable. 1 and 2, da, dee, da, da, da. Ready and 2 and ready and go. Here we go. I want each note to be focusing on the same loudness level, the same sound pressure level is super important to maintain, for me anyway. I was playing in a jury for a jury of peers and the peers, I guess at this one particular situation, the peers were college professors. And Gary at the end, he's no longer with us, but wonderful rock guitar player. He's he's not, just a, oh no, 𝗕𝗏𝗁cy, 𝗕𝗏𝗁cy, wow. And I was playing, I think fingerstyle or some hybrid pick and fingerstyle thing, and he said it was great, but it's really annoying to me. And I thought, geez, what do you mean it's really annoying to you? And he said, well, I can hear the difference, the textural and timbral difference between your fingernail and no fingernail and the pick. Each one has a different texture, so it's annoying, you know, and it's just one of those things that raised my awareness to, continuity of tone, to the, you know, just I'm gonna leave it at that. So we're just working on breathing in and then breathing out while we have these notes. I'm trying to shape the tones here, and I'm thinking the pick is just not, it's just not happening for me today with the pick. So what I'm going to do is keep working on this. Two attacks per beat is a really challenging thing to do for me, because it hangs all of these things out there. All of these opportunities to make mistakes are highlighted. So while we go through this next process, I wanted to talk a little bit about getting Anthony Tortorello some best wishes for tonight and break a leg. And we're not going to talk about the origins of where break a leg comes from, but 1 and 2 and T and 4 and fingers 2 and 3 and 11 and 12, same thing. Let's try a different pick for me. There we go. I've got the Wiegand going, and that seems to be just a smoother tone for me this morning. A good pick for playing carefully. And I wanted to, maybe we could all see, do you know how we've been doing these sentiments? You know, I want to have like a devotional for each guitar morning ritual for my own person, and you'll have your own devotions or dedications. And I wanted to dedicate this morning to our good friend and fellow guitar samurai, Mr. Anthony Tortorello, who's gearing up to play a really fun gig date tonight with his group Denim Dennis, and it's a big day in preparation, and may his fingers and hands be guided to find the right tones and right notes, and have joyful experience, and allow and give the band a really good opportunity to be together and to trust that each other is going to make good, sound decisions in a live environment, full of energy and full of confidence and gratitude and love. So we want to all help share those sentiments this morning, I think. I think that's the case. All right, so Mr. Husband is in the house. Vega. Let's see. Sleepless Insomniac, that's good. The song, the 𝗙𝗏𝗁 song is called That's Not Love. So 1 and 2, fingers 11 and 12, fingers 11 and 12. Fingers 1 and 2 on 11 and 12. 1 and 2, and you know what to do. We're just using down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Nice long tones. We're going to resist the urge to want to go fast. But the good news is that if you stick around to the last quarter, 20 minutes, 15 minutes of this session, we are going to dissect the Bo Diddley beat, aren't we? Yes, we are. This is going to be a monstrous lesson, a monstrous session. We are wrapping up our very exciting first strum pattern week that we've had. We've covered rhythmic displacement. We started with rhythmic displacement. So you could go back to Monday's session and really digest all of the tools needed to turn ourselves into rhythmic monsters and create our own beautiful strum patterns. So the skill set is there for you to develop if you like. Then we talked about some other things. We talked about, yesterday we talked about G5 and playing some bluegrass style flat picking and introduced some G running. We did a few G runs here and there, and we did some other things. But today we're going to close out our efforts with our first strum pattern week with Bo Diddley Beat. So stick around, it's going to be a lot of fun. For now, we're just going to continue to wish Mr. Anthony Tortorello and Denim Dennis a wonderful, wonderful experience tonight, communicating at very high levels musically with each other and sharing that energy and giving and receiving that energy with the audience so that it becomes a really nice recreational sort of renewing experience for all people involved. All right. So let's take a good look at this. We're going fingers 2 and 3, fingers 3 and 4 again, but this time we're doing the old stretch. We're going to introduce a fret between frets 10 and 12 and start with the old stretch-a-rooney. We're starting with the old stretch-a-rooney. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. 2 attacks per beat. We had some requests yesterday for just you know, I'm here, I'm new, I'm here, and I just don't want to be moving so quickly in the morning. I want to enjoy myself and take it easy. So today we are rolling in easy, okay? Just taking it easy. We're breathing. We're going to meditate our way through this morning and be mindful of every little muscle movement, more especially in the fretting and picking hands, or the fretting and picking hands. So 1 and 2, and you know what to do. And 10 and 12. So it's like that famous interval that starts, the rhythm changes. Started here. I got rhythm. Anybody here like to play the rhythm changes? Hey, Raul, we're here. Good morning. All right, I did practice this morning with Gary Beer Boy. Any song from James Taylor? Absolutely. Amor mio, por favor. On my back. Good morning. Thank you very much for Mr. Husband for welcoming Vega. That's awesome. Love to see that kind of thing happening. Sebastian Hartz, Uncle Jason. Here it is, Unc. We're just taking it super easy, watching for any tension that might be mounting up in our bodies anywhere, in our legs, in our calves or thighs. Our posture is going to be a point of study. This very simple warm-up pattern is so essential to our survival. William Freeman. Wow. So William Freeman just dropped a super chat, and thank you very kindly. That's just, that is so helpful. Those super chats could literally help me keep my lights on, and that's super important to me that someone is willing to share their hard-earned capital with, or invest that capital for whatever reason that might be, to keep teaching and to offer that encouragement is just a wonderful thing. So I thank you very much. The most important thing that's so high value, fingers 2 and 3, frets 10 and 12. The most important investment you're making right now, William, is if your seat time, right? Because your time is literally irreplaceable. 1 and 2, that's the biggest investment right now. 1 and 2 and 10 and 12, fingers 2 and 3, go. Thank you very much for the encouragement. I really appreciate that. Raoul is in the house. Welcome from Japan. Can't work out your name, mate. Hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah. Yeah, very nice. What a song. Welcome from Japan. Can't work out your name, mate. Yeah, I can have a difficult time with the name too. I should remedy that. I should fix that. I'll start learning. I'll start working on. I've been working on a few languages, but I'll start including Japanese too. I used to play with 𝗕𝗫ci 𝗗𝗵𝗪𝗏, and a beautiful horn player in my college and university days, and we used to enjoy some time together. Wonderful player. Dan, husband Raoul, waving away. I know, we all know that you're making the 𝗕𝗪 proud tonight. This is a remarkable day for you, just preparing, you know, mentally and physically, aligning all of that energy to create something real and magical. I know sometimes this might feel like it's dragging, and if I feel like it's dragging, it means that I'm not focusing on my breath. Focus on my breath, I realize that it's tone that I want to generate. I'm seeking to generate wonderful tone, awe-inspiring tone. For nobody other than myself necessarily, but all of the tones, each and every tone is in service to the big guy up there, right? That's sort of the way I look at this, from my own approach, right? Let me just switch legs over because I'm really starting to take some injury here. All right, so fingers 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and go. And so I've started talking about sitting there in the field, high up in the White Mountains. I was there for the reauthorization of the JJDPA with people from all over the world. We just held a tri-state session, and everyone else was in the rack, in their Highland Center, I think, is where we were at, putting us squarely near the Bretton Woods. It was the same year that the Wilderness Act reached 50 years old. And I was outside at, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the morning, everyone else is sleeping, I'm out there in the cold, but my camera's set up taking like time-lapse photographs of this beautiful Bradford Washburn Museum, and the night sky, and the hills, and the moon, and the stars, and all of those things were coming together in these beautiful time-lapse photography, just or lying exposure, bulb exposures, right? And then I'm in the White Mountains, and the tree line a couple hundred yards away, I can hear there's some rustling, and I'm just trying to huddle down and just become unobservable, and I'm just really being quiet. And then the more quiet I get, the more I can hear the rustling around in the tree line. And I got thinking, I'm the only idiot out here at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, just passing my time, practicing my profession. And I'm in Blackbeard country. So I hear the rustling and the tree line is coming, it's definitely coming my way. So let's go ahead and take a look at fingers 2, 3, and 4. And let's stretch 2 and 4 first. I'm more interested in like finger stretches this morning. This is feeling great, so we'll keep on, if you don't mind. Fingers 2 and 4, frets 9 and 12, and then we're doing the same thing. If you're just joining us, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. This happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we meet to breathe, tune up, and play up. Right? So we're playing the guitar through a warm-up, a mechanical chromatic style warm-up. And then at the end, near the end of the sessions, like today, we're going to talk about the Bo Diddley beat as we wrap up Strum Pattern Week. This happens through the entire year of 2025. It's free. It would be a good thing to share with your guitar player, bass player, drummer friends, so that we can all be kind of like pulling up with a stick pad and your sticks and just running through the rudiments. This is a great wake-up call for me personally, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I will be here for the entire year, even though we're on vacation this week. This is vacation week for me and my wife. So, but we're here, and that's what we do. Okay, so let me go ahead and introduce you to fingers 2 and 4 with a 2-fret skip. 1 and 2, and nice and easy does it. So I'm working through my bulb exposures high in the hills of the Mount Washington Valley in the Presidential Range, taking bulb exposures at the Highland Center, and I'm in the middle of the night. Everyone else that I'm there with is just, they're out. They don't have any interest. I'm outside. I'm outside with my cold weather gear on, and I can hear rustling in the tree line, and it's definitely coming my way. So I just try to be quiet. I stop breathing for a while too, and my camera's still running, and it's going to that bulb is still open, the shutter's still open. I'm thinking, man, I'm going to overexpose this shot, but I don't want to stop the shutter because it gets like one of the old 5Ds, the Canon 5Ds with the mechanical shutter in it. So that click would draw more attention to my person, and I didn't want any more attention to my person because I'm in black bear country. And so sure enough, I look over and I hear the noise is directly beside me now, and it stops for a second, and then I thought maybe it'll turn the other way, go the other way, and then it starts coming right at me. And it was dark enough, and I didn't have any lights on, I didn't have any, all I had was the ambient lighting, and I could see this dark shape running at me. And I thought, man, this is it. I have a little pocket knife, you know what I mean? And it's gonna be me, it's gonna be me surviving, right? It's not gonna be me going down. There's no way. It's gonna be me going down. So this thing is, so let's take a look at fingers 1 and 3. And we'll use frets 9 and 12. 1 and 2, and you know what to do. So, and I'm just talking about this, I'm really focusing on my breathing while I do this, right? I don't know if you noticed that, but I'm focusing on my breath. The talk is a way to exhale for me in a controlled fashion. It's not as effective as if I just focus solely on breathing, but that doesn't make it, it doesn't add all that. It doesn't add another layer of interest by just breathing in front of the camera for an hour. So here's the rest of the story. So I'm ready. I'm all prepared. I'm in fight or flight. I know from training and the rhetoric and all of those folk lessons that you learn that you cannot outrun a bear. So I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do that. So I just stood there, and I was ready for what was going to happen, and I could see the shadow. It was coming, it was closing in, it was getting closer and closer, and I'm in the grass because there's some grass left. It's very cold, but grass, tall grass. I'm not sure what kind of grass. Tall, a couple 2.5 feet tall, and I'm thinking maybe I'll just get away with it just being unobservable, but he's come all the way down the tree line, and all the way, now he's turned toward me and he's running directly at me, so I thought the likelihood of him missing me wasn't very high. So I get ready, I stand up, and then all of a sudden the moonlight, I could see that shift in my angle, that trig just changed the angle enough. I could see that it was a runner. Someone was out for a late night, midnight run. And I thought, what in the, I just thought this huge, you know, just I was so relieved that I wasn't going to be eaten and mauled by a bear. Let's go ahead and take a look at fingers 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 10, 11, 12 and T and O. And so what happened to me, and there's a reason I'm saying this, and this is all for Mr. Tortorello. It's for everybody, it's for all of us, but this is for Mr. Tortorello. I stood up and I said, hey, and I scared the runner. And we stopped and we talked in the moonlight there in the middle of the presidential range in New Hampshire, right in the middle of the wilderness. Oh, this is really good when I focus on the tones. We started talking and I said, hey, what are you doing out here? And he said, hey, what are you doing out here? Don't you know this is bear country? And I said, don't you know this is bear country? And he said, yes, I do. I'm here. I am the coordinator and the conference leader for the Wounded Warrior event that begins the week tomorrow. And he's out here collecting himself and his thoughts about how to, you know, address all of these wounded veterans who are coming in from pretty much all over the country, right? And they're there meeting battle buddies and reacquainting themselves with the outdoors and healing, all of that stuff. And I thought, this is such a cool thing to be part of and present for, and at the beginning of. And he said, the next thing he said, he didn't wait, he just jumped right to it and he said, would you mind if I said a prayer over you? I thought, who does that, you know? Who does that? And it was 2 grown men out in the middle of the wild, in the middle of the night, could have been eaten by bears, and we're meeting each other, sharing prayers together. Just really cool stuff, you know. It's not the kind of stuff that happens often in the lowlands, do you know what I mean? So I wanted to offer up a little bit of a prayer for our friend tonight as they all proceed to have a very high level of communication, a musical communication, with and interact with your audience, that their hands might be guided to be the full musicians that they can tonight, for all of the reasons that we become musicians. So cheers and good luck. Break a leg. All right, enough of that. Back to fingers 1, 2, and 3 on 10, 11, and 12. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm going to double up. If you want to double up, you're welcome to, but if you want to stay playing single notes, 1 and 2 and T and 4, and I'm going to double up. Just to get that extra meat off the bone, just to get that. I might triple up. Maybe I'll just play 1 single note. But it's helpful for me to be able to repeat a note, understand why I might repeat a note before moving on. was slow enough for me to just kind of still control all of the tones that we're doing, you know what I mean? Just to continue being mindful of the sound pressure level, the attack, the dynamics of the decay, the full length and study of each tone that we are delivering through this morning ritual. Oh, 𝗕𝗫 fishing. That's right. I've been meaning to check out your channel. I'm so glad that you come back so that we have, so you're jogging my memory. I know I'm scraping the surface on this live chat, and there's no way that I'm going to be able to get to every single thing, and I really apologize for being, but rest assured that, you know, someone in the chat is seeing what you're saying. And all of the people in the chat, all of these guitar players are very well qualified to communicate and have some fun and go back and forth with questions you might have. So don't hesitate to keep that chat going, you know, even if I'm getting a little bit behind you, okay? Oh, I'm a metalhead, but I love all kinds of music. So you are, yeah, you're inviting us to go take a look at your channel. Absolutely, we'll do that. Thank you. Makes me think of the bald-headed bear, sucker for the child candy. Yeah, I wasn't thinking it was a bald-headed bear at the time. I'll tell you right now, I was thinking I was ready to, I was in fight or flight mode, and I was not in flight mode, man. It was on. It was the real deal. Like, I haven't ever really been in that situation. I've been in the wild where I see bear, you know what I mean? I see moose, and I'm thinking, what would it be like to ride a moose, a wild moose? And one old man in our family has actually done it, but I'll tell you that story later. So let's go ahead and get back to, we're going to jump right now. I know we haven't made it all the way through our mechanical chromatic style warm-up. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about not even using chord. I just want to talk about the Bo Diddley beat. So we'll start at 60 beats per minute. This is going to be a little challenging if this is the first time you have had any exposure to the Bo Diddley beat, because I know it was hard for me to absorb it, so I know what it's like. I remember that. And then I remember having friends say, hey, can you play the Bo Diddley beat backwards, man? And I'm like, no, I can't play the Bo Diddley beat backwards. But, well, I played this gig the other night, and the drummer was like playing this really cool beat, and I asked him what he was doing, and he said, oh yeah, I'm just playing the Bo Diddley beat backwards. And I'm thinking, man, so there are some people who are just really pushing the envelope. But it's basically this. You know, a really great example, a modern example of it is George Michael's Faith. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4. So we're on 60 beats per minute, and as long as you're with me, we can walk through it together. How's that sound? 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and so let's count 16th notes. I know we've been taking it easy, but we all keep a little bit in reserve, a little bit of extra fuel in the tank, so to speak. So we can count 16th note grid now. So 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a Bo. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a Bo E and a 1 E. Kind of like Fade Away from the Dead, yeah. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a Bo. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a Fo. 1E and a, 2E and a, T-E and a, 𝗏. 1E and a, 2E and a, T-E and a, 𝗏. 1E, ba, 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 da, 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 da. So it's down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, down. Now, what you're noticing is I skip over, I keep moving that right hand. That right hand keeps moving, and it's the pendulum that maintains the timing of the rhythmic breakdown and the rhythmic distribution of the 16th note grid. So it's going to look like this: 1 and a 2E and a T-E and a 𝗏. 1E and a 2E and a T-E and a 𝗏. 1E and a 2E and a T-E and 𝗏. 1E and a 2E and a. And that's where it turns around. This is these are the landmarks. 1E and a, 1E and a, 1E and a, 2E and. So 1E and a. Let's try that. 1E and a. Dun, 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 so back and dun, dun, and 1E and a. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then we should set that last 16th note, should set up that explosive next down beat. So we should hear that click on the metronome as a huge, we should perceive that because we're setting it up to be a massive event. So 1E and so 1E and dun, 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 1E and then we're going to do 2. So 1E and 2 and dun, dun, 1E and 1E and 2E and 3 and 2. 1E and 2E and 3 and 1E and 2E and 3 and 4. Let me turn this off just for a moment, and then we'll bring it back. So we don't always need to be working with the metronome, and sometimes sorry you had to hear that. Usually I press mute, but I guess I can't on this with this technology. Do you notice it sounds better when you have a smile on your face? Do you notice that? pretty much what's going on today. But I did really want to just give us a moment at the end to send off. We may end a little bit early today. I'm not sure yet how that all works. But I did want to send one more good word out to our good friend and fellow guitar samurai, Mr. Anthony Tortorello, as he and Denim Dennis take a stage this evening, and wish them all well. I'm anticipating honeybee season. Oh, yeah, we have a few hives over here. 350 more colonies, wow. That's pretty serious. Bernard, it's massive. When you live in the shadow of insanity, the appearance of another mind that thinks and talks like yours does something close to a blessed event. So I'm working on the D major chord with F sharp in the bass. With a G chord in the bass, and then 3, and then back to D with F sharp in the bass. And up to G chord. Sort of like the Dave Matthews style chords that we're using here. Just a quick little outro. Just a good way to just kind of close it out for the week. Talking strum patterns. We've been here talking about rhythmic displacement. We've been talking about what happens if we play drum patterns, just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we talked about G5, the boom check, alternating bass notes, and then walk-ups and lead-ins. Talked about 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Talked about changing bass notes. We talked about a lot of different things this week that we could use in our own guitar practices. We don't always have to play quarter notes, we don't always have to play 16th notes. Where the magic happens is where we start to bridge the gap between playing melody and chords. there's a lot happening here, and just wanted to close it out. Start easy, roll in easy, roll out easy. And thank you, Kev. Let's see, have a great weekend saying something nice to someone until Monday. Very cool. Kevin, nice to see you, and we'll see you Monday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. We have a nice program coming up for Monday, so we'll see you then. Be what you are, know what you know, feel what you feel. Go just to go. There you go. See what you see, hear what you hear, no destiny, no fear. Oh. Machine. Very cool, man. Oh, and being in tune with nature is a pretty important part of it. We've just been watching this show, the Lunatic Farmer. We've just been really kind of like re-engaging with how the thing is supposed to work, and then how everything is supposed to work. You know, it's really cool to hear that, Bernard. Very cool. Oh, right. Very cool. Yeah, meditative yoga here, Raul. Very nice. Robbie, we'll see you guys later. And Dan, smash that like button on your way out this morning, crew. Have a fantastic, safe weekend. Thank you very much for having me read that and say those words. Thank you for smashing that like button. And thanks, Uncle Jason. Very cool, man. Way to keep it alive. Oh yeah, okay. All right, the AMP story. All right, well, I'm going to hang out for another second. We've got another minute. 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧, do you have any ideas for next week's theme? Thanks everyone for the support. I do have a channel number, nothing on it yet, except a laser cutter video, so I could get some diagnostics done. Any time that you have some stuff that is worth, you feel it's worth for us to take a look at, don't hesitate to share that with us, okay? All right, so some of you may have seen the old video that I just reposted, reshared on my, I'm going to stop playing because we're done. But there was a video of the landlady in a band I used to play in called 𝗬𝗃𝗲, and it was just a really, really great experience, just a wonderful experience. So Raul asked someone asked what kind of amp it was, or I had this really cool Fender Deluxe American Strat Plus with those lace sensor pickups that were all like the 3 different colors, and it was really one of those guitars you wish you never parted ways with, because it was just an awesome guitar, just an awesome package. And that, I think I was playing a Marshall Valve State amp, and I remember we were gearing up to go play a New Year's Eve gig, and it was coming down the front porch steps. It's icy. And the 412, I don't know if you've ever handled a 412 cabinet by yourself. There's a handle on each side, and it's really intended for 2 people, I think, to really do the job. But I was young and dumb, and so I thought I might muscle it down over the steps, over the porch steps. And I did. I came down to the last step, and I hit some ice, and I'm carrying it like this, in this big 412 Marshall speaker cabinet, 4 Celestions in it, you know, and just both of my feet went like this, and I thought, you know, it's another one of those bear in the wilderness episodes. I came to terms with the fact that I might not make it, and I remember just everything went into slow motion as I fell, and I remember everything. I could see the amp. I tried to get it away from me, but I couldn't because I was going down. I remember the black back of the amp coming down, and the little place where you plug in your speaker, you know, the speaker, the cable into the back of that little jack with the input, you know, for the rear of the cable. That little ring must have caught my nose. So I remember everything going black, and then I woke up and I realized I didn't die. So I threw the amp off of my chest, and I quickly stood up and I looked across the yard, and I thought, I saw my brother loading his bass equipment into the rig, right? And he was just standing there staring at me like I was really messed up, like I really took some injuries, and I didn't know if he was looking at a ghost or what. It was like that serious for me. And then I looked down, and there was just blood pouring off of my face. So and then, you know, I broke the septum, folded my nose in half, and then broke the bridge of my skull, and never really got the surgery done right. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying, Anthony, if you're going to use a stack tonight, don't use a stack. Be safe and use a combo amp. But maybe if you're rolling in your, you know, your big amp, maybe you can use handles on each side, and you can have some help bringing it in tonight. But it was a fun thing, and I still played the amp for a long time after that. And I appreciate you reminding me about that story. I like to share those kinds of things. They're fun, they're good to hear, they feel good to share, and then it's a survival story. Very nice info, Bernard. Interesting fact, beehive hums in the tune of A when they are happy, and it has healing properties on the mind and body to be near them. Yeah. Keep talking that talk. What do I need to do? Because I'm in Maine. We have a few hives that we need to reposition, and we need to. We lost the hive a couple of years ago, and just have been sitting there, and wild bees came and just sort of like kind of just took all the honey out of them before we could get to it and stuff. So big winners over here, and if you have any advice that you're willing to share, we'd love to hear it. Absolutely interested. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and good morning, Randy, good morning. Mr. Mahavishnu over here, very cool. Tomorrow, every weekday morning, so today's Friday, we are closing the week. I will see you all on Monday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Keep an eye out for a Discord channel to extend our time together and our potential. We are going to, not much an idea, but I'd like to hear more improv. Okay, we'll start working in terms of improv. We'll start probably with a revisit to pentatonics, but I'll keep an eye out on that stuff and curate some sessions as lesson videos, like fully produced and curated videos on the session in terms of improvisation. I really think that's worth its weight in gold for certain. So the metronome is off for now, and I will see you all on Monday morning, and thank you so much for being here. My Rivera Quiana is very heavy. Yeah, so don't drop an amp on your face. Lesson learned. So come to find out, it's not all that exciting. I would say set up the empty hives with the old combs as swarm traps. Catch lots of wild bees is a great way to get good bees going again. Oh, really? Also, if you have a guitar that you wanted to share with us, we are posting the guitars of the morning ritual on our posts and community tab under this channel. So send your guitar, a nice photograph of your guitar, if you can muster up the best photograph you can, and send a little bit of a backstory along with your guitar to jasoncareyguitar@gmail.com, or any other communications you'd like for that matter. And we'll see you there. See you again Monday morning. I'm getting ready to jump. hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And until we meet again, happy picking.